Oh my god, it's...
What's up, people of the internet? My name is Hondro, and we're back again already talking about PV freaking P leaks. Not leaked. Announced. Officially.
Yep. No leaks here, just official announcements.
Yes. So, Niantic has announced PvP stuff. And I'm sitting here with Forrest, aka Funky Dude 1, yet again, because we must make as a content. So, how psyched are you for this?
Yo. PvP is in the building, yo. Ready, Freddy.
Great. Okay.
My rhymes are sick right now.
Okay.
I am ready for this PvP announcement. There's a lot of exciting news that they just talked about in this release. We still have a lot of unanswered questions, which is normal at this point from Niantic, but
a lot of answered questions also.
A lot of cool new answered questions that we didn't even know we wanted answered.
Many much answers. So, the official release, I guess you could say, it's not really a press release. The official release from Niantic has all sorts of little goodies and breaks down all sorts of things. But then I've also got the GoHub article because some of the people from GoHub actually were able to participate in that private, I guess you could say, like beta test.
Play testing, yeah.
Yeah, so some of the guys actually got to play test it over there. So we'll look at that too. But we're just going to read this verbatim, so just bear with me here. So, trainers, from encountering and catching your first Pokemon to assembling a powerful team to take on legendary Pokemon in raid battles, you have certainly built incredible skills as a trainer over the last 2 years. Are you ready for the next big challenge? Show off your skills against others with trainer battles coming soon in Pokemon Go. Then they've got the first two images here. And this is nice. So it says beginning this month. So we can expect this before the end of December, which is exciting. So hopefully even before Christmas we might see this.
Yeah, I was predicting early in the year, like right at the New Year's, but it's a pleasant surprise that it's coming a little earlier than we thought.
Yeah.
So I'm more than excited for that.
So beginning this month, trainer battles will now allow you to challenge a friend or another trainer at any time. Challenge another trainer using a battle code, assemble a team of 3 Pokemon, and see who comes out on top. When trainer battles are completed, both participants will receive great rewards, including a chance at rare evolution items. So, obviously, we lost our Sinnoh Stone, and this is going to be how they're supplementing it, basically. So, good incentive to bring that back.
I have a feeling, so they say rare evolution items, plural. I know that we talked about the Sinnoh Stone. We already have a few evolution items in the game as far as metal coats and dragon scales, things like that. But I'm also wondering if that's how they're going to tackle the next evolutions that are yet to come for Gen 4.
So like Tangrowth.
Having an Icy Rock and a Mossy Rock for your evolutions.
Possibly.
Having some sort of other item for Tangrowth and Yanmega, Mamoswine.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll add more evolution items into this mix that we can see, but
convolute the evolution item system further than it needs to be because it already doesn't make any sense.
It does to a point, or did to a point.
No. It literally makes no sense at this point. It's so ridiculous. Because it's okay. Anyway, we're continuing on. So you can see the pictures here. This is the battle screen with Gengar and what is that, a Nidorino? Or is that just a Nidorino? Yeah,
it's the classic red and blue intro scene.
And we'll get to this, but you can see there's actually 2 charge moves here on the Gengar, which is pretty cool. And then this is showing you the nearby, which is pretty interesting. So you can actually see that there are near Blanche obviously is the regular. Well, wait.
It's Mystic, the Mystic team
Yeah,
leader.
Blanche is that that's not
Valor.
The actual team leader name?
It's
I thought it
Valor
was something
team
else.
leader, and then
Okay.
Instinct team leader.
Yeah, so I knew Spark was Instinct. But it's cool that you can actually battle either of those or scan a QR code to challenge a trainer locally. So, continuing on. Oh, and this right here, this image just breaks down the leagues. So we already talked about this previously, and this was part of the info that was released earlier. But there's 3 different leagues that you can pick teams for, and teams of 3. It isn't indicated if you can actually have duplicate Pokemon or not. That is not. It's every picture that has been shown is of 3 different Pokemon, like you can see here below. This one has 3 different Pokemon for the Ultra League picks, but it's not expressly said anywhere that you can't have duplicates, which I find interesting. So
the other interesting note in that screenshot you were just pulling up.
this one.
Remember for the longest time how Party had beta next to its name when it was still in beta testing. And we were wondering it was just the parties that we were building for raids.
Mm-hmm.
Now it looks like they have the actual designations of leagues with your teams and adding more teams to that league, in addition to having your regular teams that you would battle raids with. So
yeah, because as of right now, it's still just the 5-party system with teams of 6.
So it'll be cool to see how they're gonna organize that, and that party system is actually going to have more value as we come along further in this announcement. So
yeah. All right, let's continue on down here. All right, so in order to ensure an even playing field, trainers must compete in the same trainer battle league, which determines the CP limit for the participating Pokemon. Strength alone will not ensure victory. Whether you're battling with Caterpie or a Mewtwo, the cleverer and more... I didn't think that was an actual word.
It's a word. Cleverer is a word, yes.
The cleverer and more strategic trainer will have an advantage. So that's obviously they're alluding to knowing Pokemon typing and knowing Pokemon attacks and what's super effective and what's resisted and all that type of stuff. So
still have a hard time believing that Caterpie versus a Mewtwo, that Caterpie would come out on
well,
top.
it's not saying Caterpie versus Mewtwo. It's what you could use a Caterpie or a Mewtwo. You could still, maybe you're battling a newbie that doesn't have anything to battle with. So
true.
It's possible. All right, continuing on. Battles are fast-paced and real-time, so don't expect to wait your turn. Your selected team of Pokemon will be able to execute both their fast attack and charge attack moves. In preparation for battle, you'll even be able to use Stardust and Candy to unlock a bonus charged attack for your Pokemon. Timing is important. If you use your head and keep an eye on your opponent's moves, you may be able to deploy a Protect Shield to save your Pokemon from critical damage. But you only have a limited number of these shields before your Pokemon will be left defenseless, aka it's going to take the full brunt of the hits. So that's interesting. And then this down here is a Infernape putting up a Protect Shield against, what is that? That's a Lucario back there?
That is Lucario.
Yeah, it looks like Lucario. So that's a pretty cool image. I like that. And there's more info in the GoHub article about exactly how this Protect Shield works, and how the charge attacks work as well. So
we're just reading this announcement right now, just in case people didn't see it on the website.
Yep.
And going through the basics.
All right, and then continuing on. While trainers will usually have to be nearby to initiate a trainer battle, Ultra Friends and Best Friends can challenge each other from any distance. So near or far, you can battle with your closest friends. So this is great because, and I was actually just talking to about this with Forrest before we started recording. So I was talking like, I can literally battle any of my subscribers that are on my friends list. Like, I know some of you guys live across the country. Some of you guys, I know Mad Max, you live across the pond, as they say. I've got friends in like South Korea and Japan and all sorts of cool stuff. So I can actually do like subscriber like PvP live streams. So if you guys want to challenge me, Loco Hondro, to some PvP battles, well, you best bring your A game, son. Because I'm coming at you with Mewtwo and Ginga.
I'm just letting him go on this
and
roll right now.
And Metagross. Come at me, bro.
I'm letting him just sit here and stew in his loco hondroness right now.
Come at me, bro. You can't touch this. All right, sorry. Yeah, but that's going to be really cool. So that is actually the part of this that I'm the most excited for, because not only does that mean I can play on Wi-Fi and have the best possible connection and not have to rely on shoddy cell service, which is, I think, now that I'm saying it out loud, that is why they did this.
Yes.
So they did this to make the absolute best connection, because they know that there's so many places where cell service just isn't reliable. Well, I mean, even in places where it is reliable,
when it varies by provider,
people get there's like limiters on, so like sometimes if you're over your data cap for the month or whatever, you get that your service gets throttled and stuff like that. So if you're able to play on Wi-Fi, especially at your house, like I've got really good internet at home. So out of everything in this announcement, this little blurb paragraph, these two sentences excite me the most. The fact that I can battle all of my ultra and best friends from anywhere at any time, as long as they are awake, and I'll just match like, hey, you want to battle right now? Let's go. That and it's not announced in here, but that does level up friendships as well.
Yes, I think the greatest part about this, as said, you said it yourself. I have a couple of friends who are long distance as well in other countries, but also even friends here in the valley that live in a town that's
they live
30
across
minutes
town.
away.
Yeah.
And instead of them driving out to me to do battles and do that, if we can do it when we're sitting at home late at night doing nothing, like earning some items, earning all those things that
You don't have to open a gift. You don't have to go do a raid together or go physically battle a gym together. You can just do this, and that it's so much easier. It's gonna be so nice. Okay,
moving on.
Yeah, final little bits here. Looking to learn the ropes or sharpen your sharpen your budding battle skills. Team leaders Spark, Candela, and Blanche are eager to test your bravery. You can earn rewards once per day when training with a team leader, including Stardust to help power up your Pokemon, and work hard towards earning that Ace Trainer medal. So that's interesting, because they're finally bringing back the Ace Trainer medal in a different way. So if you guys aren't, or if you guys are newer to the game and have no idea why there's an Ace Trainer medal, I will show you. So the Ace Trainer medal used to be exclusively on it was with the old gym system. So you used to be able to go and battle your local gym, and if it was your team's color, so if you could do two things. You could battle the gym again and play against your own teammates, or you could battle and take down an enemy gym. But the battle system worked the same way. So you'd actually go to train a gym to level it up, because you used to be able to put 10 Pokemon onto a gym, but you had to get the gym to a certain basically level of experience in order to be able to add another Pokemon. So you used to be able to add 3 Pokemon to any gym to start, and then you could battle it up to add essentially tiers to add more Pokemon to the gym. So that was what your Ace Trainer badge was. You were battling your own team's Pokemon in order to train the gym up to be able to add more Pokemon to that gym.
And for me, this is super exciting, because when I initially was playing the game, all these badges, of course, you were working towards them. You're getting your Pokemon type medals, all those things when they were first announced. I never thought that they would be taking away a way that you could level up a badge in the past.
Yeah.
And it came kind of as a surprise when they did take that away.
Yeah, when they changed the gym system.
And then the OCD in me wanted to just complete that and make sure that it was all gold so I could have an even picture. My OCD is driving me nuts. So it's good for me to be able to now go to this point. Not only are you earning items, earning power-ups and stardust and all that stuff by doing this training, but also getting the chance to work on that badge that was missing for so long.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. It'll be a way to round that out for all the completionists out there. And then they just ended by saying it's up to you to get your Pokemon into shape. The only way you'll become a trainer battle master is to get out there and go. Thank you from the Pokemon Go team. So pretty exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and jump right into the GoHub article because, like I said, some of the guys at GoHub were actually able to participate in that beta test. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into that. There's not really anything. If you guys need, I will link both articles in the description below, both the Pokemon Go Live article and this GoHub article where they break down some of it into more detail. So both of those links will be in the description so you guys can take a look at these articles for yourselves. But we're basically just going to go through this just like we did with the GoHub article or with the Pokemon Go article. So,
and they do make the disclaimer as we're reading off these details that
this is not final.
Are not final. The beta that they played in is still being adjusted obviously in real time. So cooldown times and details that are that specific probably are going to change, but it should still be the same general.
And Niantic is going to, they've already said that they are going to continue to tweak this system to make it and make improvements as it rolls out. So the initial rollout will happen. We'll see how it goes, and then they will tweak it as they see fit. Basically, I'm sure based on feedback, because there will be people that love it, and there will be people that hate it, and there will be people that love certain parts and hate certain parts, so it'll be all over the place. But once we get our hands on it, we'll know. But let's go ahead. So they will allow you to lock the second charge move. We all know that. Protect shields. Let's just go ahead and so I like these images here, so you can see. You actually, it's interesting because it looks like the charge moves build up at different rates based on probably the power level of the charge move. So you can see as the quick attacks are happening, you can see that on this image on the left with Lucario. I was like, wait, that's not. I was gonna say Ludicolo. I was like, that's not Ludicolo.
A little different.
Yeah. You can see that the Shadow Ball is actually charging up faster than Flash Cannon because Shadow Ball is a 2-bar attack and Flash Cannon is a single bar move. And then you can see the Infernape image from before, and then this is...
That is the image. So they revealed that when you're releasing a charged attack at your opponent, you have the ability to continue to tap that icon and charge up your move to increase the damage that's going to be done to your opponent.
And they talk about that down below here too.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. At the same time, that's where the protect shields come into play, where during that time where somebody's charging up their attack towards you, you have the chance to decide if you want to throw out that protect shield to defend your Pokemon against that.
So talking about the Protect Shield. So the Protect Shield allows you to completely mitigate an incoming attack from the opponent. So it actually completely nullifies it, so you take 0 damage. And then they do mention here you get a few Protect Shields, and you have 3 seconds to activate it once your opponent activates a charge attack. So obviously there's going to be multiple charge attacks. Basically everybody's going to be using 2 different charge moves, so you're really going to want to know almost every meta relevant Pokemon's, not only their typing, but you're going to want to know their charge move pool
potential moves
because you're going to want, because your Protect Shields are limited, and basically they can, whether or not you're basically always going to want to just use these probably even if they're just bluffing and they're using the one that's not super effective, you're going to want to protect against it anyway.
But be choosy because it says you only get a few per battle. So is that per every 3 Pokemon you have, which means you're going to have to space out and use those wisely amongst your 3 Pokemon.
Yeah. But they do say here that with the test that they were participating in, they had 2 Protect Shields. So activating it, so it can presume When you activate a Protect Shield, it takes 1 charge away. Like I said, it completely blocks the attack, so you take 0 damage. It has no effect on the amount of charge energy that you've earned, and the opponent will still perform their charge attack and spend that energy. So it doesn't. They don't specify though if that's per Pokemon. I would have to assume it's per Pokemon and not per battle, but it could be per battle.
So I said you get a few Protect Shields each battle. So
maybe it is just for the whole battle,
for strategic purposes, which does make it a little more urgent on when you're using your shield versus not, because that could be the difference between if the next Pokemon you're up against in your person's party isn't super effective and you used all your shields or didn't use all of them when you could have, then you're at a standstill, or vice versa.
It's interesting that they don't show any images that actually show like the amount of Protect Shields that you have. Like none of the images have that. So
and it doesn't surprise me. It's one of those, because it's still in beta and they don't want to give away all their secrets too.
So here's the bit about charging up your charge attack. So when you use a charge attack, charge up, they say here, it's a new mechanic that is available once you activate the charge attack. During charge up, the attacker is given 3 seconds to furiously tap the screen in order to increase the move's potential damage output. So it's some sort of unknown multiplier, and then during that time, that's when the defender has 3 seconds to decide whether they want to use a Protect Shield or not. And they were figuring this is just a guess on their part, that it increases if you are able to get like a max charge up on your charge move. It seemed to do about 20% bonus damage, which is pretty good, especially for a attack that's super effective. So that's really great. This is interesting because it's not mentioned anywhere in the regular Pokemon Go article. So you can actually actively and freely switch Pokemon at any time during the battle. However, when you do so, you're going to have a 50-second cooldown before you can do it again. So, and the other interesting part is that when you switch, the Pokemon that you switch away from is going to maintain the level of charge that it had on your charged moves. So when it comes back into the battle, you're still going to have that level of charge. So very interesting. So it's 50-second cooldown anytime you switch, but once that 50 seconds is up, you are free to switch to any Pokemon you want, and you can basically do it at any time as long as you haven't just done it. So it'll be interesting to watch people switch out, and then their opponent's going to switch. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, okay, well, now I'm stuck in here for, 45 seconds or whatever, taking super effective damage. So that'll be part of the meta game, is figuring out a lineup that
covers
as many areas as possible, and being able to out switch your opponent. You might want to wait for that. If you knock out a player's Pokemon, it might be beneficial to wait for them to switch, so that way you've got the upper hand, because if you're the second one on the switch and you can get the super effective moves, that might be extra beneficial to you. So I don't know, that'll definitely be a big part of the meta, like just figuring out, and the 50-second cooldown is subject to change as well, just like everything else we're talking about. It's all subject to change. All right, second charge moves. So they break this down a little bit better. So in addition to the Protect Shields and charging up, PvP has brought the second charge moves. So you can unlock it by spending Stardust and Candy on the Pokemon. And once you've unlocked the second charge move, your Pokemon will receive a new random move from its move pool. And this move can be used in trainer battles, and it can also be used in gym battles and raids. So not only is this second charge move changing the trainer battles, but it's also going to change the dynamic in raids and gyms, which is really cool. I'm interested to see how they're going to implement the AI when your Pokemon, if you drop it on as a defender if it's going to randomly choose one of the 2 charge moves, or if it's going to be locked to the primary one.
We don't know.
As a defender. That's interesting. That's not touched on in this article, so that'll be something that we just have to see as a defender specifically.
Well, and this whole thing, as I said, does change everything. It changes the way that gym battles are going to take place, changes the way that raids take place now, because you can have Pokemon that have multiple moves that are effective against a raid boss, depending on what it is. Changes your ability to duo and solo certain tier raid bosses, possibly, because you have the ability to have multiple moves that could be.
And it'll make it nicer because you won't have to have like 2 sets of Tyrannitars necessarily, because right now I've got 6 Bite Crunch Tyrannitars that are maxed out and like 6 Smackdown Stone Edge Tyrannitars that are maxed out. So it's like, that's a lot of candy and Stardust.
You could have less. You could have a Smackdown with Crunch and Stone Edge on it, which would help for a lot of other case scenarios. So that, I think, is the most exciting thing, in my opinion, is how this 3rd move, they're getting up to the point where it's, normal Pokemon has 4 moves for each Pokemon, and that changes up a lot because you can mix and match what types in the core are there. We'll see if they start implementing stab damage and all those things as well in these PvP battles, if that's going to be a little more calculated,
they talk about that there's no abilities yet, and for obvious reasons, because of the nature of the mobile game, it's much harder to do as far as programming wise. But in addition to not only being able to randomly learn a second charge move, is that you can actually TM it as well. Thank goodness. If they didn't do this, I'm sure people would just lose their minds, because if you got stuck with whatever random move it gave you, I'm sure there'd be a lot of frustrated people.
Makes me wonder if it's going to be a new type of TM you have to earn, though. Like,
I don't think so, no.
Because
they would have said that.
Ones that you want to TM.
It'll probably be you actually select the move. They'll have to change something in the menu.
In the UI.
Yeah, in the UI for it. But I'm sure Charge TM will still be Charge TM. And then you can't have 2 of the exact same charge move. I don't know why you would want to do that anyway. It wouldn't make any sense. So you have to have, it's 2 different moves. So you'll have a total of 3 moves on your Pokemon. And then when battling in trainer battles, your energy fills both moves. So like we showed before, and you can see something in here. So you got Flamethrower. You can see the energy building in that second picture in the middle with Infernape and Lucario with energy, and the one with Salamence to the right as well, with energy going to Fire Blast and Hydro Pump at the same time. So.
But it does mention that using a charge move does take away the energy from both of the attacks.
Yeah. When you use a charge move, it drains energy from. So that way you can't. Now I use Fire Blast, and now I can follow it up immediately with Hydro Pump. No, if you use one or the other, the energy will be depleted, and then you have to re-earn it. So.
But it could be useful for, say, those smaller, quicker 2-bar or 3-bar charge moves, as you're using that, because it's probably taking less of that energy away from the big one.
So you could use like a 3-bar charge move, and then you'll still have like 2/3 of your way towards a single bar.
And so that'll change up the way that you're charging your bigger charge move while you're still using your smaller charge move. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that dynamic plays out, because lots of stuff.
Yeah,
lots of good changes.
And then there's no set cost yet on Stardust and Candy. Because like I said, they mentioned it right here. It was part of the beta test, so they're not giving any sort of numbers on what the actual cost was to earn that second charge move. But we just know that it will cost both Stardust and Candy to unlock that. And then rewards. So although one player can claim victory, both players get rewards from training their Pokemon and playing together. Participating in trainer battles will result in increasing friendship level for both players, and fighting against team leaders will give you a chance to receive a special item reward, including the hard-to-find evolution items. Other rewards are also possible, but not known yet at the moment. So, obviously, we're talking Sinnoh Stone, possibly adding new evolution items like we mentioned earlier with Tangrowth and the evolutions, and Mammal Swine and some of the other ones that maybe might require a Sinnoh Stone that just haven't been added yet, or there could still potentially have additional evolution items in there as well. So
I think a good idea for an evolution item would be like an ancient TM, where it teaches them, because in the games they'd have to know moves that were like ancient power or older moves that they couldn't really
you're talking for like Tangrowth.
For Tangrowth and Apom and all those stuff. So maybe making a new evolution item similar to the Sinnoh Stone for other evolutions that required a move set change to evolve.
Could be interesting.
So
yes, and then they go on to say here, so you can get rewards from battling against each team leader once a day. So that means you can battle against all 3 team leaders, and you can get rewards from battling against other players 3 times a day. So that means basically six rewards. Six times a day where you can get rewards. So you get rewards each time you battle one of the gym leaders or team leaders, and the first 3 PvP battles, probably between 3 different trainers. They don't specify that there, but I doubt you'd be able to battle the same person 3 times and get the rewards, because it's probably based on when you're leveling up the friendship with that person. Beyond that, you will not be able to receive rewards, but your progress will count towards the medals.
New medals. They're gonna have
medals. There'll be PvP medals in addition to the Ace Trainer badge, and then you can battle any number of times you want throughout the day. The only limitation is how many times you can get the items. So it says 3 times a day, but they specifically say you can get items 3 times a day from the
team leaders,
leaders and from trainer battles. So battling against team leaders. So we all know the 3 team leaders, and by playing against them, players can earn rewards and towards their Ace Trainer badge. And so it's basically the battling against the team leaders. It's an AI battle. Unclear as to whether it'd be cool to see each day that they do 3 different Pokemon for the so that way you're not, every time you go battle the team leaders, you're not just like, oh well, I'll just pick, I know exactly how to counter them, so I'll just pick the three that they always have. It'll be interesting to see if they change them up every day. And it provides you with a nice single player experience, so you don't have to have ultra or best friends to do this, or you don't have to leave the house to do it either. So you can do that every day, and it's a nice way to basically test out your team to see if they have any sort of viability or a good mix. And then the local and remote trainer battles. So fighting players nearby in the real world, you scan your battle code, that QR code, basically the same way that you can do trading, and then you can start a battle. But the remote thing, like I said, that is super exciting. I am just ecstatic about. I'm honestly like this is the most exciting part of the whole thing, is the remote battling. So that, because more than half of my friends list is Ultra Friends at this point. So that means I can literally just scroll down my friends list, pick anybody I want, and like send them a battle request, and if they accept it, battle's on.
Yep.
So that's very, very exciting. So I'm super stoked for that. And then as far as what was the only 2 Pokemon that were not playable or not able to be used in the teams in your league battles for PvP are during the time of the test. They might update this. Hopefully, I really hope Ditto gets to be included, because right now Ditto is excluded, and as well as Shedinja. I don't know why you would exclude Shedinja, because just the fact that it has like almost no CP or almost no HP, that's personal preference. Like, if you want to go into battle with Shedinja, that should be your choice. Ditto makes sense because they'd have to figure
programming.
They have to figure out how to not only, it's hard. I'm sure Ditto was hard enough when they initially programmed it into the game, but now with the addition of another charge move, and then you'd have to have the second charge move unlocked on Ditto. You know what I mean? Because
to be able to,
because right now Ditto has, it's just struggle, which is 0 damage, and you don't ever get to use it. and then transform, because Ditto automatically transforms.
That's the only move it ever learns.
Yeah.
Even it doesn't really even learn struggle.
Yeah,
in
it
those
has
games,
struggle just as a filler, but in this game, so it has a quick attack, but you never get to use struggle. It just transforms and takes the 2 moves from the existing Pokemon. But like if you didn't have a second tier unlocked on Ditto, then it would. But if the Pokemon, that's why it's a very confusing thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they will get it figured out for Ditto, which I'm super excited to see, because Ditto's an awesome Pokemon, and I'd love to battle with one. And then they just wrap it up here. This is just some stuff. They're saying, no increase to level cap, no emotes available during. There's no leaderboards. Niantic hasn't said anything about doing official tournaments.
But they're encouraging people to create their own local tournaments.
Which I will absolutely be doing here with people locally as well as remotely. Like you can literally set up a remote tournament. Like our whole Scottsdale crew could say, hey, this Friday we're gonna do
anybody who's ultra friends in this group.
2:00 we're all gonna do a tournament, best of 3. You battle each other 3 times, best of 3, and then you can literally set up a tier. Okay, who won in between you 2 guys? Like you can literally do it from home via like Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. So that'll be actually really fun. And then obviously abilities are not available in the game yet. And Niantic literally told everybody the biggest challenge in developing the feature was, quote unquote, making it work, which I am so glad that they took their time with this, because if they implemented a system and it didn't work, it would be such a waste of time. So I'm glad that their top priority is making a system that fits in with what we've known. So, and there's no dodging. So it's just tapping. The only quote unquote dodge is a protect block, which works well for a mobile game since since we don't have 4 moves to choose from and it's not turn based. I think the way it's designed and the way it's been explained in this announcement actually has me excited for it.
What I want to say, I'm actually really impressed with Niantic on what they've done so far in this game. I know that we kind of give them some crap every once in a while about things that they mess up.
Yeah.
But the fact that we got trading as early as we did, because I don't think any of us expected trading that early into its life cycle of this game.
Well, I mean, we all expected it when the game first came out, but then after we got really jaded after not having it for so long that we're like, oh wow, like I was shocked when it finally came out.
And with regionals and everything, people thought it was going to be the very last thing they did just so they could, milk it for all it's worth. Same with PvP though. People thought that was going to be something that they would release down the line at the end of its life cycle almost, just to try to keep it current. So I'm happy that they're doing these changes and systems to get people involved again, because I was playing this the other day and talking with somebody at work, because I'm playing, Let's Go obviously, and he hasn't played Pokemon Go in a year, and he just logged into his account the other day and was talking about all the things that have changed, the gym battle system and everything since he started, and he started getting excited about playing the game again.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see.
Well, this PvP will certainly bring some of the heart. Like, I know a lot of people that were like, hey, until they do PvP, like, I'm done. Like, Big Poner. He's retired from the game. He's done everything he wanted to do. He's spent so much Stardust and candy on maxing stuff out. Just has tons of stuff, and it's just like, at this point, why? He was just getting bored of it. Yeah, like the gym system
is all right.
Sucks, kind of. Like, there's no challenge to the gym system. Raids with 2 or 3 people, you can even beat legendaries, so that's not really a challenge. This actually has some nuance to it, especially with the addition of the second charge moves. that partnered with the fact that you could do this remotely actually shocks me at how impressive this system seems like it's going to be. I'm optimistic, but it's still skeptical because I want to see it function, and I'm hoping the connection is good and we're not getting like, death glitches and weird stuff like that we've had in raid battles and previous and gym battles and stuff like that. So,
well, and I hope that this does succeed because then it opens the door for more exciting things. I think if they had months or weeks where you could battle gym leaders of the different regions. So say there's a week where you're able to challenge Brock and certain gym type leaders and earn different
rewards. And you can actually earn badges and stuff, like actual gym badges, and they could create a more classic Pokemon Go and or more Pokemon environment. Like they could do Elite Four, honestly.
Get the Elite Four, get eventually maybe random trainers that are out in the world that you see on the map that you could battle.
Or they could pop up on gyms. Like you're walking by a gym, it's like, oh, Misty's at the gym. You want to battle Misty?
Yeah, random.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Want to battle Ash? Yeah, why not?
Make
you want to battle
events.
Gary Oak? No. Gary Oak sucks.
Yeah, what a jerk, man. But no, it excites me because things like that are always cool to think about and thinking about what they could unlock for you. Maybe it's a shiny encounter, or maybe it's this and increased, who knows? Who knows what they are able to do if this succeeds and it does actually function the way that it's intended.
I'm very excited.
Because then it could turn into an actual main series game where you're building your badges, leveling your Pokemon. If they increase the level cap on things, they start making this a entirely new game essentially that expands from Kanto to Gen 8 that's coming out, where you're battling all those gym leaders and all the way through. That's massive. You
just gave me you just like blew my mind, because now I'm thinking about if they increase the level cap, but then they make it to where in order to level up your Pokemon, you have to battle with them in this new system, PvP, and you have to actually earn gym badges, and that's how you get to level. Like if they want to increase it to level 50, you still have to spend Stardust and candy, but you also have to earn badges and battle with your Pokemon in order to get them to level up. You don't just get to spend, if you have 10,000 candy, you don't just get to dump it on there. You'd actually have to have the badge. That Pokemon has to be battle ready. Like a list of
challenges that you have to do to get to level 41.
Dude, that actually,
and then a list of
I don't know if they're thinking that far but that's just now.
See,
now my head is like, ooh, I'm actually even more excited than I was just a minute ago.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. It's really exciting. It really reinvigorates people into this game because it does open the door for so many possibilities. It's the equivalent of when they put time travel in any television show, because you know that they can just go wherever the hell they want to at that point. So when they open up this can of worms and this Pandora's box, who knows what's going to come out of it, but hopefully the good stuff comes out of that.
So with all that, you guys, how hyped are you for PvP? I'm super stoked that it's coming out this month. I'm super stoked that I can battle you guys remotely, and I'm super stoked that there's going to be a challenge in this game and 3 different levels of challenge. So we can battle with garbage tier below 1500 CP Pokemon and try to do wonky compositions.
You do shiny battle competitions, shiny tournaments.
Yeah, you can do all sorts. I'm so hyped, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like I said, links to both of these articles are in the description. Big thanks to Forrest again. You are the man. Thank you for coming over and getting this recorded so we can get this out to the people. And guys, stay tuned to my YouTube channel. Consider becoming a member because honestly, I'm going to make that a benefit to members where you're going to be a permanent person on my friends list, and we can PvP battle together. So that's going to be that'll be a member exclusive coming forward, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'm Loco Hondro. Peace, Poke Trainers.